Hello, this video will show off some of the functions of the server view of the FireIt app. We're going to start by logging into the server terminal using the employee we made in the admin view demo. The three login methods that we had at work were fingerprint, magnetic card swipe, and lastly numerical PIN and password, which is what we're going to use since this is a browser-based app with Firebase authentication. For FireIt, on the first login of a new employee, we're prompted by the message of the day component. The real world use for this would be a way to update service staff with various info at the start of their shift that they could re-reference again if necessary. For every subsequent login, we just land on the table map and we can see the update we made to it in the admin video has been affected. Along the top here we have a bunch of tabs, and each tab does have its own different lower navigation of functions. So some things of note before we start: the table map and the summary just represent two different ways for service staff to look at their tables. One which references where they may be located on the floor plan, and another one that has a quicker view of all of the active tables that they have going. Either one of them is able to start you a new table. But because generally we do not want servers to be able to access tables that do not belong to them, both the keyboard I just used and clicking on tables will prevent you from using tables that another server has orders on. Alright, let's pick a table now and place our first order. Going through the menu and picking options will place them as pending orders on the table's check. The system works off of a seat number style to represent each guest, and clicking on any item to start will default to seat 1, but we can change this of course with the little seat number function. After some updates, I decided to make it more clear that the pending items can in fact be interacted with. In this case, because they have not been sent to our hypothetical kitchen or bar, they can be easily deleted. And once we've updated it, we can go ahead and send the order. From here we can see table 3 flagged to show that we have ownership of it and prevent other servers from accessing the table. Going back to the table's order, there are reminders again that the items can be interacted with. However, because they have already been sent, we require manager authorization to edit them. So let's go ahead and inform this imaginary manager, and they can use my birthday as a pin to get manager authorization. From here we have a few options of what we can do with the items. We can now delete the sent ones, QSA them if they were sent and made, giving us waste, or we can apply a simple promo to them. And now that they've made the change to our item, we can cancel the manager auth and go ahead and order the 2 pizzas that we created in the back end. At some point, our table's guests will be full and ready to pay, so we will use the check tab to deal with organizing the receipts. In this tab, we have 3 possible styles of setting up the bill for the table. We could default to all on 1 to start, or perhaps if we knew they wanted an equal split, we could have the check created with the math completed for us. The third option is to add receipts to the display ourselves. We are limited though, we cannot create more receipts than there are total seats. From there we can transfer the seats to the checks as we see fit. And similar to the menu item pending logic, these can be deleted and swapped around if we've made any errors. From here, once we're happy with the receipt layout, we can go ahead and print the receipts. If we do need to reorganize the checks, we can do so without a manager. As in a real world case, these have been printed and we're just throwing them into the garbage. We also do not need to have every seat on a check to account for situations where one guest wants to leave early and pay now, and other guests could join the table, so the system needed to be able to account for not all of the bills being settled at the same time. So we can go in here, take payment for receipt number 2. And then assume another guest has joined and start them off again as seat number 4. From here, we can go ahead and regenerate new receipts, split them off accordingly. Alright, I'm back to the Payments tab that I quickly skimmed over there earlier. From here we can see a list of tables owned by the server, similar to the Summary tab, as well as a reminder of what each seat contains for items. And lastly, a list of all the receipts that have been printed off. For now, all of those receipts are red as they have no payment information applied to them. FireIt works off of an older service industry style where independent systems process the payments, and the server system is used to record and summarize all of those payments for reconciliation with the business at the end of the shift. This also works out for me recreating a system using a web browser and not installing any additional packages such as Stripe. We can select any receipt and record the payment method and amount. The system needs to be able to account for the various bill separation methods and to be able to take partial payments. To reduce any employee error, payments cannot amount to more than the total of the check itself, and fortunately we can redo any mistakes. Saving the payment updates the receipt to remind us of what payments exactly we put towards that receipt. This is helpful if we've made a mistake and need to clear those payments and reapply correct ones. At any point, if we're happy with the saved payments we've stored so far, we can submit them to the system database. For now, we'll complete them all at once since we already saw partial payment settlement while demonstrating the Checks tab. Settling payments will complete 3 tasks: clearing the receipts we've settled, as well as removing those seats from the original check. Finally, if no seats remain on the table after clearing, the server ownership is released from the table. And that completes the cycle of service for a table. While there are many more aspects I can work towards implementing in the future, for now I'm quite happy with what this app is capable of compared to the original goal of saving items off of a simple menu to a table. The point of these videos was to be faster than documentation, but it does seem that in total they will be closer to 20 minutes. So I'd like to thank you again for any time you invested in them. If you're interested in contacting me, the Table tab's welcome button or the info button on the landing page both have access to my portfolio, LinkedIn, and GitHub. I look forward to receiving your feedback.